So, the true end of this game requires you not to suck any citizen's blood. I may have made a mistake. And that was 3 minutes after playing the game for the second time. I've already ruined it. Let's see how this plays out. Well. Can I go back? Is it gonna make me stick with that decision? Alright, so yeah, it turns out I am stuck with the consequences of my actions. Alrighty then. Let's try not to do that anymore, shall we? I didn't even think about it. I thought, oh, okay. I'm an idiot. God damn it. I thought it was telling me to do it, not that it was a choice. Oh, do you now?
Good evening, nurse. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed, the new surgeon here at the Pembroke.
Dr. Swansea has already told us about you, sir. I'm Nurse Gwyneth Brannigan. Welcome to the Pembroke Hospital.
Did he really? It's a good thing I wasn't hoping to keep a low profile.
All members of staff have already read about your new blood transfusion technique. Dr. Swansea made sure of that.
I see. Well, I'm a little surprised, but I suppose I'll just have to deal with this unexpected notoriety.
You must know, blood transfusions are Dr. Swansea's primary subject of research. He is convinced it is the future.
Okay, how's your life in London? Oh, what's the situation?
How are things here?
Not good, to say the least. We're struggling against an invisible enemy, more lethal than any bullet from a gun. It's hard, Doctor.
Fair. The invisible enemy? The Spanish flu.
An invisible enemy? Quite a poetic term for a disease, especially from a nurse.
Sorry, Doctor. These last few weeks have been exhausting. We could all do with a good night's sleep.
Understandable. Could the hospital fail?
Do you think this hospital can survive the epidemic?
We are all volunteers here, and we're trying to hold fast, but how do we beat an invisible killer? Some nurses have already resigned.
Fair. Tell me about the staff.
I'm not familiar with all the staff yet. Perhaps you could help me.
Brilliant professionals, most of them. Dr. Swansea has a gift for recruiting talent.
Most of them. Is there a problem I should know about, nurse?
It would be inappropriate for me to speak ill of a colleague.
Fair. Is there anyone that stands out at least?
Is there anyone that stands out?
Well, I have never met someone as dedicated as Dr. Tippett. He should be a standard for us all here. If only he were younger.
Why should his age be a problem?
I guess it's fair to say he's always pushing himself to the limits. He just doesn't know when to stop and get some rest.
That makes sense. Speak up.
Nurse Brannigan, if you do know something, please tell me. Anything you say will be held in confidence.
No. I may disagree with some conduct, but in the end, everybody is doing their best.
Okay, you know what? Fair enough. You're a very polite woman. Hint required. I have nothing on you.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance.
I'm not one to make wait, Doctor. I've patients to attend.
Oh, really there? Well, yeah, they're gonna have to wait then, aren't they? I'm exploring the area. They really made me go the long way around for no reason. They're terrible people. Absolutely awful. Is there anything this way? Oh. Influenza, frequently complicated with pneumonia. To prevent any case of Spanish flu, stay at home. Hey, that sounds familiar.
Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
In the garden? Yeah, I just realized I have no health. How do I heal? It's, 1. Or, yeah, 1. Perfect. Okay. Greetings! What the fuck happened there? Ooh. Oh, get off me, get off me. Bad. Bad skull. Bad skull. Terrible. Yeah, I don't like the gun as much as I like the stake, if I'm being completely honest with you all. Oh yeah, I should also check out. Oop. How do you change? Heal. Does holding it make it more effective? Nope. See, this is the prime time to be a vampire, honestly. It's like, who's gonna challenge you? They're already fighting the Spanish flu. Oop. Oh, he's blocking. He's blocking. He's not blocking anymore. You fool. Alright, I'm starting to get a feel for the combat. I still don't know how you change weapons, though. Or... Because it's T and G, but I can't swap. Is there a button I need to press? Hold on, I need to figure this out. Action, melee weapon. Switch melee weapon. Z? Then why in the world is T and G there? Ooh, I can parry attacks with this? Hell yeah. Where's some skulls? Bring them to me. Bring me my enemies.
It's locked, all right.
Oh, I hear them. The noises. Quarantine influenza. Keep out of this area by the order of Board of Health. Health officer. I recognize the council has made a decision, but apparently according to the limits of the game, I'm not allowed to override the decision. Quarantine contagious disease. One shall enter or leave quarantine without written of the local health authority. An authorized employee of the blank shall alter, destroy, or remove this card. Violating this regulation will be fined. I'm guessing it was like anyone caught violating this regulation. Pretty sure there's something similar happening with the corona quarantine, but I can't quite remember. At least it wasn't like heavily enforced in my area, so I just broke that bench. Photography in a wallet. A photo of a smiling and loving couple with a few words written on the back. Milton and Pippa forever. Oh. A new citizen investigation is available. Citizen investigations are displayed here, categorized by districts. You can start a new citizen quest by tracking it with that and then access your map to locate the area to explore. Bring it back. Probably lost there by its owner, Milton. So I need to find this Milton dude. Sean Hampton, yeah. Okay. There are more skulls here, I'm pretty sure. I got stuck on that. Aha! Fool! Okay. Okay, so here comes the limitation of my abilities, because now I have to, like... I have to parry, which I'm terrible at in Dark Souls. Oh, okay. Maybe not as bad as I thought. Beautiful. Beautiful. Just amazing. Is there any... Oh, aha. Oh. Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just creeping around. What I wouldn't give to be able to break through this window right now. Okay, are there any more skulls? Anywhere? Don't think so. I think the threats have been... Nope, never mind. Blackwall Falberg. Okay. Rats. Wondrous. I can't believe I'm doing this. Wait. Oh, madam. Let me just take these shillings off you, for I'm a kind and generous man. Hello, friend.
It's one of them!
My man, holy shit. Huh, you thought... Oh, that is actually super powerful. Oh, that is so powerful. And I'm dead. If you're not strong enough, remember that the blood of citizens is the fastest way to evolve. Yes, but however, I shan't do that. Except for that one time I did that. Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Oh, what? They're back? Wonderful. Ow. Ow. Remember when I said I was getting the hang of the combat? I lied. Ooh, got him. Got his ass. Nope. Ooh, that was good finish. Okay, level 6, level 7. Ow. How polite of him to wait. Again, how polite of him to wait. Such gentlemen. Perish. Okay, so maybe I'm not as good at this as I thought. And I'm definitely not good with the scythe, so I'm going to go ahead and stick with my regular attacks.
I cannot enter.
I cannot enter unless I'm invited in, for that is the rule. Also, I'm pretty sure I was close to finding a hideout, so I should probably look for that. Because, let's see, there were rats nearby somewhere. So I think... Aha! This is a hideout, right? If it's not, then it will be. Well, never mind, I guess. I didn't think there was platforming in this game, but then again, I guess it's not really platforming. Whitechapel Street. Ooh, okay. Oh, I hear someone. I hear a lot of someone's, I think. Nope, wrong button.
It's locked.
I cannot enter. But then how do I progress? There are skulls about. How am I to save the common man if I'm stuck here in these apartment buildings? Am I really not supposed to be here right now? Is that the vibe I'm getting? Because there are definitely skulls here. Oh, Stoneberg Cemetery. This has to be where it is. Excuse me, sir. Ooh, you're an evil one. Well, I don't want to call him evil because he's actually probably the good guy in this situation. So how do I activate my sense again? It's...
Best turn around if I were you.
Okay. I'm leaving. Just pretend you didn't see that. I was just playing this game not too long ago. How did I already forget how to do everything? Sense uses V. Is that a baby? Okay. Do I attempt it? I think I attempt it. Pay no attention to the man walking right behind you. What? You were blind as fuck, dude. How did you not see me, my man? Really, that's just kind of your fault at this point.
Eat this!
No. That's too much carbs. However, what I will do... Oh, I can't do it. They outsmarted me. I was going to try to teleport away, but they wouldn't let that happen. Okay. I think I've died enough. So, I'm going to go ahead and actually move on with the main plot now. Hello, ma'am. Have they waited long for me? I hope they waited a long time.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I apologize, nurse. I needed some time to myself. This has been the longest and strangest night of my life.
You delivered poor Mr. Hampton from a terrible fate. The means to that end should be of little concern, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
Perfect.
I would like to ask a few questions first.
Who is Dr. Swansea?
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
Well, I mean, he knows me more than I know him.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Terrible. I only just met him.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
Well, sounds like a good dude. How's Mr. Hampton?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in. How does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
Was he going on about sucking the blood from his arm?
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Okay.
Thank you, Nurse Crane.
I'm going to assume that I remembered all of that. Also, I've realized something. If my sensitivity's too low, then it's a pain to do stuff in the talking sections. But if it's too high, I can't move around efficiently in the actual gameplay itself. So I have to switch between those all the time. Okay, wait. Is this like it's open? He's just staring blankly ahead. Okay, this one's actually moving. This one's moving. Are you just dead? I think this one's just dead, with his legs up. That's impressive. Don't mind me, I'll just steal very limited medical supplies for my own personal use. I hope you don't mind. City U! Life saved by efficient medical aid is a blow struck at the flu epidemic. Volunteers make the difference. They sure do. Sign.
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
The pain. It's here again.
Oh, geez. Okay. About the use of garlic and wooden stakes. Dear brothers, I must now draw your attention to a very important point. The use of garlic as a protection against vampires. Let's be crystal clear on the subject. Garlic will never protect you against these creatures. No matter how fresh, how strong, and how smelly, garlic is totally useless as a defense. I can never say enough about how damaging that novel of Bram Stoker has been. Yes, of course, population of Slavic countries place garlic cloves in coffins. Yes, of course, inhabitants of Santorini Island hang garlic on their windows. There would be so much to write about this place, and someday soon I hope to go back to this island to further explore its occult tradition. But that is not to protect the living from the devil. It is to tell the dead that they are aware of the malevolence. It is a symbol, nothing more, and nothing less. So please, by all means, yes, wear garlic, show garlic, hang garlic, and tell the shadows that you are not afraid. But if you are looking for supernatural protection, you will have to search much deeper into the forgotten secrets of the occult tradition. For here's the truth, my fellow brothers. Garlic does not repel vampires, but all the fresh plants will hurt them. It is as if their body could not stand the presence of botanical elements. I have seen an eruptive vulp flee when whacked with a rose. Yes, a simple rose. I have witnessed a violent econ fall down and beg for mercy when stuck with a wooden stake. I don't know why it is so effective, and I would give my left arm to find the answer to that mystery. But the truth remains nevertheless. Vampires are very sensitive to fresh herbs, plants, and wood. From Facing the Shadows, How and Why by Usher Talltree, Primate of St. Paul. Primate of St. Paul? I know that means something like in a religious sense, but all I can think of is that St. Paul just had a pet monkey. Okay, so I'm weak to fresh herbs, plants, and steaks. Alright.
Good evening, sir. Can I help you?
Unless you're here to fix my face. No. I don't think you can help me.
I'm Dr. Reed. I've recently taken the position of head surgeon here. War injuries, am I right?
You guessed right, Doctor. German shell took my pretty little mug right off. But they still call me Thomas Elwood.
Okay, hello, Thomas Elwood.
Soldier, do you need assistance?
I'm fine.
Okay, how was your life in London? How's your stay with us?
How is your stay with us, Mr. Elwood?
Oh, it's bliss. I just escaped death in the trenches to be surrounded again by the moans of the dying.
Can I ask you precisely why you're a patient here?
It's the pain, sir. The drugs don't work. It just hurts under the scars, if you get my drift.
Who's treating you?
Who is treating you? Is someone in particular looking after your case?
Nobody since the old and tired doctor spoke to me. Started to think I was forgotten about. Wouldn't blame you.
You don't seem worried by that.
My face hurts so much more when I smile or cry. I've learned it's easier not to speak. But be assured I'm smiling inside.
Okay, so Tippett was watching you, I'm assuming? Can I do anything?
Can I do anything for your pain?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills. No effect. Told you. It's like the flames are under my skin, burning away.
Just sounds like an infection, honestly. How long did you serve?
Where were you stationed, sir? Did you serve for long?
I really don't want to talk about all this shit.
No offense. I was pushing too much. I served in France myself. I just wanted to know what happened to you.
You were an officer, weren't you? Then I doubt we fought the same war, sir. No offense.
Well, I mean, fair.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
You disgust on every
Okay, then.
street corner. The daily routine.
Ah, Hampton.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, sir, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful things to you, I'm afraid.
You remained perfectly nice and polite. A little delirious, perhaps. But who wouldn't be after enduring an abduction?
Thank you, Doctor. That's a relief. Now all I need to do is rest and return to my flock.
You know what? Fair. Sean Hampton is a nice man. Why were you in his den?
How did you end up in William Bishop's den?
I had received alarming news about his recent behavior. I went to his place and he refused to let me go.
Oh, so you're a good man. Why did he abduct you?
Why did he abduct you?
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why. Just like a patient I met here. This Miss Hawcroft.
But this Miss Howcraft. She's a skull?
You dared to enter this awful place alone. You're a hero, Mr. Hampton. Or a fool.
I'm just a man trying to help his friends, Dr. Reed. William Bishop was a conflicted soul, searching for light.
Fair. You know, say what you want about religious types. They're generally, a few of them are pretty good. Do you know about the situation at the East End docks?
What is the general situation in the East End docks?
The situation has always been tough, with a lot of tensions between the gangs and the dockers' trade union. The Wet Boot Boys are very nervous since they lost their leader.
The Wet Boot Boys.
Who leads the gang now?
Since Clay Cox went missing, it's his wife Edwina who runs the show, with the assistance of her minion, Booth Digby.
Oh no.
Has the gang been threatening you?
Ah, no. I've had this nickname for so long, you know, the sad saint of the East End. No one dares to bug a saint, not even criminals.
I have a feeling that something bad's gonna happen because I killed him. I think what would have happened now is if I would have saved him, like actually helped him out, we might have the Wet Boot Boys on our side or something. But because I don't, and his wife doesn't have that, like, favor with me, oh, I'm in for trouble. How about Tom Watts?
Do you know Tom Watts, the bartender from the Turtle? I met him before I found you in the canning factory.
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the helping hand, good old Tom. Without men like him, corruption and despair would have wiped out the East End long ago.
Despair.
People are
I
still
know a
in
thing or
despair.
two about
How could it
despair.
be otherwise? The authorities have left us all to rot in this contagious nightmare. No drugs, no advice, nothing. It's a damn shame.
Who should I avoid in this part of town, then? Any particularly evil figures?
Not really. Most men and women are just doing their best. And it's not my habit to speak ill of people I know, Doctor.
You and that... Oh my goodness. Okay. Have you made friends since you arrived?
Have you made friends since you arrived?
Not really. But I recognize Miss Harriet Jones. I knew her when she lived by the docks. That poor woman had such a miserable life.
You never came to see her here at Pembroke. Receiving visits when sick can be an important part of the healing process, you know. We're not just bodies.
You're preaching to the converted now, Doctor. To be truly honest, I thought she was dead. She left the docks many months ago.
I mean, that's fair. If you really thought she was dead, why would you go visit her? I mean, you could visit her grave, but, I mean, it's not really the same thing. What do you do for a living?
What do you do for a living, Mr. Hampton? I can't help but notice the cross around your neck.
I manage a night asylum for the poor and homeless of the docks. And I try to guide the lost and hesitant on the right path to our Lord.
Why not use your cross against William?
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a very strange question, Doctor. A cross is no magical token, if that's what you were trying to say. Not mine, anyway.
Fair. Are you
Are you
priest?
a priest, Mr. Hampton? A deacon, maybe?
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith willing to preach the good word.
Technically speaking, before I left, I was actually an elder. Because it's really weird, because apparently you become an elder in the Mormon church when you're like 17, or maybe, I can't remember, because he's deacon. I can't remember all the stuff, but I was basically an elder when I was 17. It's kind of weird that you become an elder at that age. It feels like a bit too young to be called an elder.
How do you feel, Mr. Hampton? Medically speaking, I mean.
I feel exhausted. Beyond exhaustion, actually. William drank so much of my blood in his madness. I feel empty.
You're in good hands here. Dr. Swansea is well versed in blood transfusion, and I'm sure he'll take the best care of you.
Thank you, sir. I believe all I need is rest. And then I can go back to the people who need me.
Hell yeah, man.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll talk again later.
I really hope you don't end up becoming either a skull or a vampire, but I have this feeling that's what's going to happen.
It's locked.
I'm sorry. Listen, I made a mistake with Claycox, but I'm going to try to correct my mistakes. Okay, wait, there's something... You! Are you the one I seek? No, but someone here is. No, wait, no, my office is above here. Okay, never mind. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and take these medical supplies. Do not mind me. There are a lot of people in this room.
Reads me like a book.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
I mean, fair. Doctors are arguing about your case?
Tell me about the doctors who are arguing about your case.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me, but there's a lot of pride there. Doctors are no different from carpenters, it seems.
What do you mean?
I often had professional arguments with rivals on a building site. Difference is, I disagreed about wooden nails, not flesh and bones.
No, that's very fair. That happens a lot. Tell me about yourself, man.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Are you satisfied with your treatment here?
Well, it's clear that I've chosen a bad time to be injured. Forgive my bluntness, but you seem overwhelmed by cases of the flu.
I won't lie to you about it. I'm afraid we are.
Are you sure you don't want to operate yourself, Dr. Reed? I have the feeling you're very capable, and your colleagues seem to think so too.
In other circumstances, you would be right. But for now, I don't think I can take on the responsibility. My apologies.
You know what? Harvey Fiddick, he's like the chillest dude I've met so far in this game, other than Swansea and Sean. I think he's like the chillest dude.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
Oh, sweet girl. Reads me like a book. I never could keep anything.
He seems like a good dude.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Oh, is this... Oh, hey, Crane.
Thank you, nurse.
When did you get here? Oh, doctor.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I believe we're going to be colleagues.
Reed, yes, I've been informed about your arrival. I'm Waverly Aykroyd. Welcome aboard, I suppose.
Does my arrival inconvenience you in some way, Dr. Aykroyd?
Let us just say that I don't particularly share Dr. Swansea's enthusiasm for hiring you. What we need here are reliable professionals, not overrated dabblers.
Oh, I can tell we're going to get along very well.
If you have a problem with me, Dr. Aykroyd, please feel free to tell me.
Dr. Swansea has imposed your presence on this hospital without asking anyone's advice. The benefit of his position. But I don't agree with it.
I know we've never met before, but I believe this hospital could use all the help it can get. You will agree with that, I'm sure.
Oh, but I have heard about you, Dr. Reed. Of course, you can't say the same about me, since I have not wasted my time courting the press.
Oh my goodness, no need for such animosity, my friend.
There is no need for such animosity between us. Don't you think the epidemic is already enough to deal with?
That is one point we could agree on. And that is precisely why I want to be sure that you will be of help to this hospital instead of a burden.
Okay, you know what? I got you. It makes sense.
Since your tenure in this hospital is longer than mine, perhaps you can tell me more about this place.
Let's just say I'm tired of the carelessness around me. I have always respected the skills of Dr. Swansea, but over time his enthusiasm has become displaced.
Carelessness? Exactly what are you talking about?
We're here to save lives. The people who trust us are not volunteering for experimentation. They're here to be healed.
I don't intend to run any radical experiments, Doctor. Even if I, as any good practitioner should, express an interest in pushing the boundaries of medical research.
Modern medical methods were created through audacity and ego. But there are rules in our line of work, and they're here to protect our patients.
Fair. What was it? Waverly disapproves modern medicine methods. Oh, please tell me you're not a fan of leeches, of bloodletting. Please tell me you're not into that. I have proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Ackroyd.
I only want you to admit you used those men to improve your theories.
Knowledge is our main weapon. I have saved many lives. No reason to justify my actions to you. That's gonna make him... Well, I don't know if there's like a... I think this is just like flavor text. But let's see. Knowledge is our main weapon. I mean, he's probably saved lives. And like at the same time, if a man's dying, like, and there's literally nothing else you can do for him, I think it's fine to do that. But you know what? I've saved many lives.
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing reality.
I don't know. And what? Be careful. This is
You see?
Okay, so now I'm stuck in that.
It seems you have bad memories of your military service.
I refuse to see this industrial slaughter as scientific progress. War only reveals the worst in men.
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Ackroyd.
Okay. I don't know if that pissed him off or not, but I mean... I don't think there's like a reputation
Thank you
thing
for
with
your
him.
time. We'll talk later.
At least I hope there's not. Is there? Waverly Ackroyd. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's... Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a reputation bar. But okay, Waverly Ackroyd is connected to Harvey Fiddick because he is the one operating on his arm. And his arm is not getting better. And him and... I can't remember the other doctor's name. God damn it. 97%. It should have been 100! So, am I to assume that if I don't drink their blood... Because if I drink their blood, they die. And if I drink everyone's blood, then, like, the entire place is... Are you who I think you are? So no, if I drink the entire blood of a district, everyone's dying, and I'm just basically ruining the entire ecosystem of this game by taking people out of commission. But if I improve everyone's blood quality to a very significant degree and don't embrace them, am I to assume that they will be cured of... Thank you, my friend. You're interrupting my monologue. But yeah, I'm assuming I have to, like, get their blood quality up to make them immune to the disease or something like that. Who knows?
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
Oh, perfect. You are like the exact opposite of Ackroyd. Tell me about yourself.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
What made you choose this career?
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
I'll be glad to help you.
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
Okay, tell me about your experiments.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Ackroyd probably wouldn't have liked me anyway, because he said the exact other option I was going to tell him. I almost just hit Q. Tab, that's what I want to hit. Thoreau's experiments in blood transfusion have not been successful yet.
What do you think of Dr. Ackroyd's aversion to modern medical methods?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea taught me that science is about exploring uncharted territory. I'm convinced that's true.
With the influenza and all that's going on, you should put your differences aside, don't you think? Why is it so difficult to work together?
I believe that if Dr. Ackroyd had been the one to discover the transfusion process, he would be the first to recommend its use.
So you believe it's just a question of jealousy and pride?
Dr. Ackroyd is as proud as he is blinded by his obsolete concept of medical science.
Ooh, rough. I thought he was easygoing.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Yeah, you seem very optimistic there, my friend.
You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True. Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
Do you need my help?
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see. Well, give me the address, for I may pass by if I have time.
Perfect. First questions about your blood transfusion technique.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him? or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Oh. You must remain neutral. Tell me his story.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Ooh.
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Ackroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings, with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Okay, you know what? So they're pretty much like two sides of the same coin. One is like very like research oriented and really willing to what am I trying to say? And willing to get to know the patient. The other one is kind of like disgusted with modern techniques. Well, untested modern techniques is what I probably should say. And is unwilling to get to know the patient. In the name of mercy that depend on you, nurses are needed now. Inquire at the nearest appointments office of the Ministry of Labour and National Service or write to 15 Kingsway, London.
My blood and soul,
In the first place,
they belong to you now.
the life running in your veins.
Ah.
This dead flesh needs it.
Oh, please spare me, Dark Queen. Spare your obedient slave.
The fuck did I just walk into?
Good evening.
Not
Mr.
you.
Evening.
Good
Want to talk to the crazy one. You, madam.
Good evening, miss. I'm Dr. Reed, the new surgeon at the Pembroke Hospital. And who are you?
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust blown by the winds of eternity.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency? Well, tonight maybe I'm inclined to mercy. You'll never forget the night you met Thelma Howcroft.
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if I'm mortal, what are you?
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.